Good morning. Happy Sunday. This is Sacred Awakenings Sunday Gathering. I'm Reverend Nicole Ritz. I'm glad you're here with us today. Before we begin, I would like to share some updates and just a few announcements today. So beginning May 1st, we have some new and exciting opportunities to connect with each other and the Sacred Awakenings community on our Sacred Awakenings Community Network. So throughout the month of April, you'll be getting lots of great information about some of the new opportunities and ways to be together a little differently. So look for that information in your email, on the Facebook page, on our Sunday gatherings in the morning announcements. And I'm excited to share that throughout the month of April. And also happening in our member network this week, we have Dawn's Practice Lab Wednesday morning. We have the Sacred Awakenings Intention Holding and Prayer Circle group meeting Wednesday evenings. Gini Behrerdt is teaching a Law of Attraction course on Thursday evenings, and there's still time to sign up for that. So if you're interested in the Law of Attraction and you want to take a class with Gini, who happens to be our speaker today, there's still time to sign up for that. You'll go to either sacredawakenings.org or sacredawakenings.mn.co to learn more information about that. And finally, Sacred Awakenings is a true community-led, community-created organization. And as such, we come together as a community to support and co-create Sacred Awakenings. So if any of the messaging, any of our programming inspires you or touches your heart in any way, please consider donating your money, your time, your talents, your ideas, your creativity to help co-create Sacred Awakenings and move us from the past into the present and into the future and help us to be Sacred Awakenings in the world. So today we have Gini Behrerdt sharing a message, or I should say addressing the question, what can we do when we feel out of flow? And joining her today is Dan O'Connor to share his inspirational music with us. So thanks for listening to the announcements and being present with us today. And please open your hearts and your minds for Gini's message and Dan's music. Thank you.
Stay with me, my love. I hope you'll always be right here by my side if ever I need you. Oh, my love, in your arms I feel so safe and so secure. And every day is such a perfect day to spend alone with you. I will follow you. Will you follow me? All the days and nights that we know will be, I will stay with you. Will you stay with me? Just one single tear in each passing year. With the dark, I see so very clearly now. All my fears are drifting by me so slowly now, fading away. I can say the night is long, but you are here, close at hand. Oh, I'm better for the smile you give. And while I live, I will follow you. Will you follow me? All the days and nights that we know will be, I will stay with you. Will you stay with me? Just one single tear in each passing year. I will follow you. Will you follow me? All the days and nights that we one single tear in each passing year.
And let us take a moment now to go inside, connect, and set our intention together for today's gathering. Coming together, we create a collective divine heartbeat. We affirm truth and peace abide here. We gather to remember and recognize the divine mystery within. In our sacred circle, we honor the awakenings of each spirit who enters.
Let us pray. Mother, Father, Grandmother, Grandfather of the open, endless sky, your names are whole and complete. I invite your totality, knowing that your will is done, on and above the earth. Feed me today, and give to me even when I fail to live up to my values. Help me to let others live their lives and express their values without interference from me. Keep me from being tempted to hurt myself and others, mostly by errors in my thinking. Prove to me my original integrity. Your way is peaceful, joyful, and glorious, now and forever. Aho.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I've come to you today to talk about letting our energy flow and maybe offering some things that you can do when it doesn't feel like it's flowing very well. I first like to bring us all together so energetically so that we are connected and we can all share in one another's energy and with the energy from the divine. So if you would take a moment to just close your eyes, take a couple of nice deep breaths, become comfortable wherever you are sitting. Allow your breath to flow into your body, into your heart, with a sense of soothing and relaxing. And as you exhale, let go of any tension you may feel, noticing that every exhale you may sink a little deeper into wherever you're sitting or laying. And allow a few breaths to happen so that you can feel the flow of this breath in and out naturally. And allow it to feel good as it's nurturing you with much needed oxygen. Then if you would imagine the energy coming up from Mother Earth, up through your feet, up through your legs, soothing, releasing, renewing energy all the way up into your heart. That loving mother energy filling you. Then allow the energies from Father Sky to come down through your crown and into your head, releasing and relaxing any tensions there may be within your head. And moving on down into your throat, into your shoulders, and down into your heart from the top side. And then allow those energies to mix together within your heart as you then offer your own energy, one of love, and mixing all three together within your heart. And allow this energy as it's mixing and merging and filling your heart with love to expand beyond your heart, and so that your heart begins to glow and emanate this loving energy all connected, beginning to go forth from your heart into this imaginary place that's the middle of all of us who are watching this. Whether you're in the future or right now, it does not matter. But coming together as one, as all of our energies are united in this one big sense of love and connection. And from there, including all of those that were said in the prayer earlier before we started, to come back into this mix, and so that they are too included in our connection. And then draw back from that community of love back into our heart, and allow this to then fill our whole body once more. And from there, a couple more deep breaths, in opening your eyes easily, gently, and becoming present to this very moment. I'd like to talk to you first about that we know we are spiritual beings. And spiritual beings means there's a spirit within us, and this being is connected to the energy that is beyond us, the all-powerful, all-knowing, various names that we give this energy, the universe, the divine wisdom, God, the all that is. It really doesn't matter. We are kind of at a loss for words in our physical form of really trying to define what that energy is. But we know that that energy is out there, and that energy is pure positive spirit. And that is what we are all connected to. The energy that this is coursing through our body. It's literally what breathes us. It breathes life into our bodies. And because without this, our bodies would have no life. If you've ever had probably have had the experience of going to a funeral to see a loved one who is laying to be viewed. And as you view this person, you know that there's no spirit within this body. And oftentimes it's an odd awakening when we encounter that, because we're used to feeling the spirit in other people. So we can really tell the difference when the spirit is not there and when the spirit is. So the spirit is breathing life into us with every breath. That spirit is inspiring us to have an animated and human experience. So with that, we are literally connected with every breath. And since the universe is the term that I will use for this talk, is literally pure positive spirit. That's what's flowing within us. Now, we could call this a stream of well-being. This stream of pure positive energy is not only within us. This stream is in everything that exists, and everything that is physical and everything that is non-physical. So it's always out there. It's always flowing, and we will never, ever be without it. Now, referring to this stream of well-being within us, this stream of well-being, the more that we allow it to flow, the better we feel. And the more we resist the flow, the worse that we feel. And this very distinction, this duality of where we are with reference to that stream flowing within us, we get to tell where we are by our emotions. Our emotions are our guidance system. When we are feeling good, that stream is wide open. So after this moment's prayer or little meditation of coming together and connecting, and you're feeling relaxed and at peace in this moment, not even contemplating or focusing on anything else that's in our world. We're just right here in this Sunday morning gathering, having this talk. The stream is flowing fairly well. And if you would maybe even think of other times when things felt like it was flowing well, would you agree that you were feeling happy? Things seemed to flow. Maybe it felt easy. Answers came to you easily. It seemed like you maybe felt free, maybe felt limitless, maybe it felt like not a care in the world. There wasn't any heaviness to that. And that, you can say, is the stream of well-being flowing very well. And when you're feeling that, you have created something called momentum. When you're thinking and feeling that way, you are going to attract to you more of those kinds of feelings, happy and all those feelings that go along with it. You could say that your batteries are fully charged and that the stream is flowing wide open. But if you were not feeling good, you might think of the times in your past where things are not feeling good. You may have felt stuck, closed down. Everything felt like it was very slow to move through. Maybe you felt like you had to push even harder to get somewhere or get through something. Maybe you were feeling some other types of negative feelings that were coming through as well. Not peaceful, and you felt limited. Maybe even in a downward spiral. So you could say that the stream of well-being is not flowing. It's been closed down. So it will always be flowing, because otherwise you wouldn't be alive in this or having this human experience, but it may not be flowing open and wide. It may be just a trickle. You could probably say that your batteries were not charged. I mean, try to run something that doesn't have a battery well charged, and it's just sort of, chugging along maybe. And but you can also feel like there's momentum in this side as well. So the more that we continue to stay in that or flowing less stream of well-being, we will then be attracting more of that to us as well. That's the whole law of attraction thing. I like to say that wellness within our life is the willingness to participate in what is. Things show up in our life, and oftentimes we feel like it's unexpected. It can happen directly to us, or it can happen to friends of ours, and through them it becomes a part of us. Maybe you experience a car accident, seem to come out of the blue. Maybe something happens, like you're getting sick, or maybe even just stubbing your toe. These kinds of things can show up. And we have emotional reactions to those things. And generally it's a habitual one. It's those kinds of reactions that we have used over and over again, and thus have become habitual. And so maybe a good example of that might be somebody cutting you off as you were driving, and your immediate response is to be angry and start screaming at them. I'm not saying this is you. I certainly have had this experience in the past, something I had to work out of. But whatever your responses are, or maybe you have someone in your family or friend who seems to just have one bad thing happen after another, and you are continually responding in a way that is echoing their whatever their plight is, and or someone says something condescending to you in a meeting, and you immediately want to stand up for yourself and fight back in some way. That can be a very natural, habitual way of reacting to something. So these are all, when it's a reaction that comes back in force or has some kind of negative feeling to it, and it's habitual, we are closing down the stream of well-being. We are not in contact with our best resources for moving through whatever it is that is showing up. If we have the opportunity to align with the stream of well-being in those moments, we have an opportunity to have a lot of answers and ways to get through something come to us, and that can feel effortless. And it's almost like a letting go of whatever that resistance is. That's participating in the event that has shown up in your life. But if we don't align with that stream of well-being, we will, experience continued bad things happening. Have you ever had the experience of something happens in your day that maybe we'll use the stubbing your toe first thing in the morning? You get out of bed, the light's not on, and you stub your toe on the way to the bathroom, and it hurts. And you scream, and you maybe say a few swear words, and which is, natural, habitual. And as we go into the bathroom, and now we're stewing about it. And then when we go to get breakfast in the morning, and we happen to drop the milk bottle on our cereal bowl full of milk and cereal, and it goes all over the floor. And now you're saddled with that, and then the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing, and maybe it makes you late for work, and you get in the car and you try to get to work on time, but you meet every single red light on the way. Certainly that has happened to me because I feel like I don't have enough time, and so I'm creating all of this, but one thing leads to another. So when I'm not participating in what's showing up, I'm stewing about it, that means more of those things are going to happen. You ever had the experience or know of someone who seems to be accident prone, and it's just one accident after another? Well, it's just a mindset that is because they believe that they are, maybe. But I want to give you an experience of having something show up. I'm going to tell you a personal story about how something showed up in my life, seemed like out of the blue. But having been working with law of attraction for, a good, probably at the time, about 15 years, I was in an accident. I was supposed to go out to Napoleon with my choir and have a performance, and I was out driving in the traffic, and next thing you know, boom, this woman showed up in front of me, and I didn't even step on my brakes. And I hit the side of her car, her driver's side door. I saw her car go up on two wheels, side wheels, and then my car bounced back, and her car fell down on all four wheels, and then all this white smoke started coming out of my engine, and I thought my car was on fire, and I immediately jump out of my car, not even concerned with anything else but that my car was on fire. And so I jump out, try to run around the car to see what's going on, and I realized that the woman I hit, her car is not even in front of me. It's gone. And it turns out she had moved beyond me across another lane of traffic and off into a parking lot on the other side of the road. Well, lots of people were coming to see if I was okay. But I remember standing in that moment and saying, oh, so this is what's showing up in my life right now. Oh, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm dealing with this. Instead of being angry and looking at my car and going down the road of thinking of all the expense and yada, 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 whatever it was going to be. But I distinctly remembered saying, oh, this is what I'm dealing with right now. And in that moment, it was like I let go of everything I might have been fearful of in the future. Like I didn't know what was going to happen in the future. I just had to be in this moment right now. And so everything from that moment fell into place. It was like there were witnesses that saw what happened, so they could tell the police that it wasn't my fault. I had checked about the other woman to see if she was okay. She was. People came along, police, whatever came along and took care of my car. My friend who was nearby, I called, came and got me, and I went off and we performed for this organization that night. I was a little bit jittery. I was not hurt, and my car was totaled. So staying in that mindset of, okay, this is what I'm living with now. How do I create my life now? And I ended up getting a whole new car. I mean, a used car, but it was all paid for. I wanted a car that was equal or better to what I had because I had cargo needs. And sure enough, my mantra at that point became equal or better. I love that term, equal or better. And the other mantra I have is don't micromanage the universe. Don't tell the universe what I think it should do. And so letting go of all that, allowing the universe, the all-knowing, all-powerful universe, to bring to me a car that would be equal or better, it sure did. It sure did. And I am driving that car today. But what I wanted to say is that because I let go of any of the habitual responses I would have normally had, being angry, what is it going to cost me, all those things, none of it happened that I would normally be fearful of. And I was dazzled. And that's how you know that you're in connection with the stream of well-being. Allowing yourself to let go of how things should be, because that's a mental thing. That's not being in alignment with the universe, so it can do for you what you need it to do. Now, I want to give you a couple of pointers as to what you can do when something shows up. When something shows up, it can be little or it can be big. These are the same steps for all of it. The first thing that you want to do is become aware of what you are feeling right then and in that moment. Either you hear some bad news or you're involved in an accident yourself or whatever. There's an event. And you want to become aware of what you are feeling. And that is your beginning point. It is from this feeling state that you get to know which direction you are going. So the better you can, the better you feel, you'll know you'll go back towards being well aligned with that stream of well-being. And the worse that you feel, you will know that you will begin, you're still resisting that stream of well-being. So the next point, okay, once you identify what your beginning point is, the next thing is what do you want to feel? Most of us don't want to feel what we're feeling right there in that moment. It's, we're very familiar with that feeling. And it's like, nope, I don't want to be there. I want to feel better. So how do you want to feel? Well, I want to feel better than where I am right now. So sometimes I like to, if it's a situation that's not an emergency, okay, this is one situations where you can sit down and sort of be with it. if you ask yourself, well, if I shift to this new point of reference and it makes me feel better that I don't have to deal with that, what will I gain by being in alignment with this new feeling? And maybe that will help let go of some of the things that you were worried about before. As an example, maybe you want to take a new job, or maybe you're losing a job and you're not sure where to go. Well, you might want to feel better, about having a job. But in that having a job, you may be losing some connections to some very dear friends, and you don't want to go, or maybe you want to try to find something else within the company where you can still maintain those friends, because you're fearful that if you go on to this new job, you're going to lose all of your friends. And so in weighing that out, you might think, well, what would I gain if I take a new job? And there could be all kinds of things that could be positive for you. Maybe it's a better location, more money, new people to meet, any of those kinds of things. So that's a good question to ask. Well, what will I gain by experience this new feeling that may be different from what I'm reacting to? If it's something that's an unknown, like the shift looks like it's an unknown, it's only an unknown because we haven't spent any time with it. And so whether it's an emotion that you don't necessarily want to feel, or it doesn't feel good, or it's a new area within your life that you haven't played with before. Interesting thing about an unknown is that if you can sit with it, even for just a little bit, it's going to change because it no longer is an unknown. And so sitting quiet and being with whatever it is that is there and showing up is how you can shift it. Now, whether it's feelings that are showing up and you can't seem to shift out of them, maybe you're feeling a bit sad today, or angry, or depressed, or whatever is, a feeling that doesn't feel so good. If you can just sit with it without having some agenda of needing to process it, needing to stuff it down, any of those, then you can allow it to shift on your own, because feelings, our emotions, are energy in motion. And if we don't allow that energy to have motion, it's going to just stay and not go away, and it will still be there until you give it some emotion, some motion. And all that is sitting and being with it and experiencing it. Sometimes we feel like it's going to consume us, but if you are of a mindset to just be with it, your higher self is not going to let that overpower you. You can just be there. Now, if you get into a place and you literally cannot come up with, how do I want to feel? And you're totally at a loss, then you don't have enough information to make a change. And it's okay. I believe in divine timing. So if you can just let it rest, for instance, like when my husband passed away in 2014, I ended up being the sole person to make all the business decisions. We had a business, we roasted coffee and made fine chocolate, and everything rested on my shoulders. And it's like, oh, I should do this, I should do that, I should do, with the estate, or something with Ralph's burial, or whatever, something with the building. So as these things would come up, there would be this urgency to take care of it. And yet there'd be this place where I began to know I don't have enough information to decide what I want. And that's okay. That's fine. If you can just let it rest and be at peace with it, divine timing will come in with some ideas, because you're letting go of the need to make that decision. And the last thing that I want to share, if you do not have an answer or cannot come up with a way to let go, and you're just embroiled in whatever it is that you're feeling that doesn't feel good, turn yourself into a new environment. Go into a new environment. Find something within your life that will give you a bit of joy, a bit of relief. We have the traditional list of things that we're probably all familiar with. Change your focus to something that helps you feel better, like taking a walk, playing some music, doing a different activity, meditate if you can, if that's your mode of getting through some things. Talk to somebody who will help you be more connected to your stream of flow. In other words, they will help lift you up. You don't want to talk to someone who's just going to echo the same kind of energy that you're feeling, because that's just going to amplify and create momentum of feeling the way you are. And that's not the momentum that you want. You want to start moving in the direction of feeling better. So find the people that will help uplift you and help you reconnect to your stream of well-being. Our friends mean well. They just may not have the information of how to help you. Now, the best time to act when you first notice something is right then. Acting in the beginning, shifting how you're feeling at the very onset, like when I first had my car accident, when it first happened, is the best time is the easiest way to shift into a different feeling state. If you don't, the longer you stay in the place that doesn't feel good, the more momentum you're going to be building, and the harder it is to get out of there. So when's the best time to shift? As soon as you feel you're in a place that it doesn't feel good. All right, so that's what I have for today, and I hope that helps you in some way of taking a look at where are you with your stream of well-being. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here and to be with you today. A well-being prayer. May we close our eyes and feel within. Source is always within me. May I come to know and feel the joy of Source flowing through me. I'm grateful that there is a guidance system that lets me know how much Source energy I am allowing to flow through me. And that guidance system is how I'm feeling. The better I feel, the more Source is flowing through me. May I remember to come back into alignment with this stream of well-being whenever life gets rough or out of sorts. May I remember that peace, joy, love, and gratitude are the byproducts of a well-flowing stream of Source energy. Amen.
we invite you to this time of holding intention as a community. Call forth in your heart and your mind's awareness yourself, your loved ones, your community, and anyone you would wish to share this blessing. Today, our blessing is shared from a traditional Lakota prayer, and it's addressed to all my relations. And here it is translated in English. To all my relations, I honor you in this circle of life with me today. I am grateful for this opportunity to acknowledge you in this prayer. To the Creator, for the ultimate gift of life, I thank you. To the mineral nation that has built and maintained my bones and all the foundations of life experience, I thank you. To the plant nation that sustains my organs and body and gives me healing herbs for sickness, I thank you. To the animal nation that feeds me from your own flesh and offers your loyal companionship in this walk of life, I thank you. To the human nation that shares my path as a soul upon the sacred wheel of earthly life, I thank you. To the spirit nation that guides me invisibly through the ups and downs of life, and for carrying the torch of light through the ages, I thank you. To the four winds of change and growth, I thank you. You are all my relations, my relatives, without whom I would not live. We are in the circle of life together, coexisting, codependent, co-creating our destiny. One, not more important than the other. One nation evolving from the other, and yet dependent upon the one above and the one below. All of us are part of the great mystery. Thank you for this life. So be it.
There's a reason for the sunshine skies, and there's a reason while I'm feeling so high, must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the summer nights with your love. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream. Let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean. Now it's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on a wing. Let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. Well, there's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let your wonder take you into space and lay you under. It's love and embrace, just feel the thunder as it warms your face. You can't hold back. Just let your love flow like a mountain streams, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. You'll know what I mean as the season. Oh, let your love fly like a bird on a wing. Let your love find you through all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean. That's the reason.
thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's Sunday gathering. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you to Gini for sharing such a beautiful message, and thank you to Dan for taking us on that musical journey, that spiritual journey through song. And I want to remind you that if you'd like to catch today's program or any of our other Sunday gatherings in their entirety, you can do that on our member network at sacredawakenings.mn.co. You can also find us on YouTube at our YouTube channel as well as on Facebook. And you can find links to these on sacredawakenings.org if it's easier for you to go there. If you want to catch today's message, you can do that, and you can find it in podcast form anywhere you get your podcasts. So thank you again for joining us, and I'd like to invite you to join us, or stick around, I should say, for a discussion after today's gathering. We come together to explore the topic and just share different things that we may have learned or realized or experienced. And we also take time to connect with the speaker and go deeper. And as always, you're not required to say anything. You can simply sit in the energy of the message and the community as well. So after we finish, we stick around for a little bit, and I invite you to join us there. So if you're on YouTube right now, we'll wait for you to join us on the Zoom link, and it is private. So you can come and share your heart, or you can just simply share space with us. And thank you very much for joining us today, and I'll see you next week. Many, many sacred awakenings to you, friends.